My name is Andy Baker. I am the choral director and also a Spanish teacher at Dalton High School. I have been with Dalton Public Schools for 33 years. I have been in education for 33 years. I have taught at Dalton High School for 33 years, and I also taught at Dalton Junior High School for 5 years. The thing that I love the most about teaching is the kids. Never a dull moment. I get to laugh every day with them. I guess the moment that sticks out the most for me, which would be my favorite, is I had a severely disabled student who I taught at the junior high school and then who came to Dalton High School and continued in chorus. And she struggled every day. She was in one of my choral classes, and we had been working on a piece of music for weeks, and it just was not coming together. And the kids knew it, and I knew it, but we kept plugging along. And one day, we were performing the song in class, and all the pieces started to fall into place. And I could tell by the smiles on kids' faces they were realizing it as well as I was. And when we finished that song, this particular student yelled out, "I feel good," and still gives me chills when I think about it. I think I was born a teacher. I can remember when I was very young, my parents went to a school surplus sale and came home with 2 student desks, which I immediately turned into a classroom for the neighborhood. My grandmother influenced me greatly to become a teacher and a musician. When I was a freshman in college, my dad told me at Christmas that he didn't have the money to continue to send me to school. And so, of course, I was bothered by that. And my grandmother knew something was wrong. And she said, "What's bothering you?" So I told her, and she said, "Well, if that's the case, we'll just dip into the fund." And I said, "What fund are you talking about?" She said, "I didn't tell you." I said, "No, ma'am." So she took me back to her bedroom and opened a cedar chest at the foot of her bed and started to go through the 42 purses that were in there and pulled out a savings book that had enough money in it to complete my education. There are lots of people I would like to thank for supporting me. First of all, my wife and my daughter, who I am sure I have shortchanged along the way, spending way too much time at school. Also, of course, like to thank my grandmother that I mentioned earlier, who paid for my education and encouraged me to stay in education. My mentor, Lisa McKeever. And I would like to thank all of the other teachers in Dalton Public Schools and administrators, both within the school and at the central office level, who have done so much over the course of my career to support me and make it possible for me to achieve as much as I have been able to achieve.